Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to our workshop today. On behalf of the organizing board, I would like to say greeting to all of you, good health to all of you. I would like to wish the launching workshop for the two projects today a great success. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I'm very sad when we have to start the workshop with obsessed figures. Every year, around 8 million tons of the plastic waste ended in the ocean, and it also infringes the food chain of the people. And Asia account for 60% of plastic waste in the ocean. China, Indonesia, the Philippines, Vietnam, and Thailand are the highly responsible countries. Everywhere we go, we see the plastic waste. We see plastic waste on the white sand beaches, drifting with the wave on the ocean and stranded in the coral reef. And more dangerously, we can see it in the belly of the aquatic animals. And it is more concerning because these plastic waste take 100 years to be degraded. Plastic waste will be broken into small debris, and the toxic substances will go into the ocean and affect the fish and aquatic animals. And we eat fish or the seafood, we will be affected as well. And now I'd like to introduce to you a video clip on the ocean pollution as well as action of the human beings. And now please spend some minutes to look at our screen to see the video clip. Thank you.
Cho con người, nguồn thực phẩm quan trọng, dược phẩm, nguyên liệu thô và cả năng lượng. Đại dương đem lại khoảng 3 đến 5 nghìn tỷ đô la Mỹ cho các hoạt động kinh tế toàn cầu hàng năm. Nhưng đại dương đang chết dần vì ô nhiễm rác thải nhựa từ hoạt động của con người. Mỗi năm có khoảng 8 triệu tấn chất thải nhựa thải ra đại dương, đe dọa hệ sinh thái biển và thậm chí còn được tìm thấy trong chuỗi thức ăn của con người. Đặc biệt, châu Á là nơi gây ô nhiễm môi trường biển và thải ra 60% chất thải nhựa trong đại dương. 5 quốc gia chịu trách nhiệm hàng đầu trong vấn đề này là Trung Quốc, Indonesia, Philippines, Việt Nam và Thái Lan. Những vấn đề như đô thị hóa nhanh chóng, tăng trưởng dân số và gia tăng thu nhập đều gây áp lực lên các hệ thống quản lý hạn chế chất thải. Trong khi cuộc sống sung túc hơn, con người lại sản xuất và mua nhiều đồ nhựa, thậm chí là thải nhiều nhựa ra môi trường hơn. Rác thải và đồ nhựa được tìm thấy trên bãi biển, trong đại dương, bên trong các động vật biển hoặc trôi nổi xung quanh các rạn san hô. Điều này còn đáng lo ngại hơn vì những loại nhựa này phải mất hàng trăm năm để phân hủy. Chất thải nhựa vỡ thành từng mảnh nhỏ, trộn vào nước biển. Nó mang hóa chất độc hại gây bệnh, ảnh hưởng trực tiếp đến cá và sinh vật biển, và gián tiếp là sức khỏe của những người ăn hải sản. Nếu con người không hành động ngay bây giờ, sẽ còn nhiều rác thải nhựa hơn số cá trong đại dương vào năm 2050. Đây là một vấn đề kinh tế và môi trường, có thể phải mất cả đời để sửa chữa, trừ khi chúng ta có thể cùng nhau hành động ngay bây giờ.
Oceans are set as a high priority of the international cooperation agenda of the Norwegian government. Norway is actively raising the issue in the United Nations and other global and regional platforms. We hosted our ocean conference in Oslo in October last year, which Vietnam also attended. There is strong political commitment of the Vietnamese government to tackle the issue of waste management and marine plastics. That is why we are very eager to cooperate with Vietnam and UNDP. Norway has a strong and long partnership with both Vietnam and UNDP. And we do think that these partnerships lay a strong foundation to jointly tackle the marine plastic challenge.
With great thanks to our partners from the Government of Norway, UNDP is implementing 2 complementary projects. And these projects look at promoting sustainable oceans and to do so in ways that are reducing plastic and waste.
We have seen over the past few years the Asean leaders stepping up to fight marine pollution, and especially plastic waste. The Bangkok Declaration last year gave a clear direction. It was adopted by all ASEAN leaders. We were so proud that we, in December last year, could launch the ASEAN project, which is an ASEAN-Norway cooperation project in support of the Bangkok Declaration.
Cái việc hợp tác quốc tế trong vấn đề rác thải nhựa đại dương là hết sức là quan trọng, và UNDP là một trong những tổ chức đầu tiên đến cùng với chúng tôi để hợp tác xây dựng kế hoạch hành động quốc gia về quản lý rác thải nhựa đại dương đến năm 2030.
Vietnam at this time, as we know, is chair of ASEAN and also a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council, holds critically important regional and global roles and has the opportunity to raise the issue of sustainable oceans and ending and reducing plastic and waste pollution at both regional and global levels. And UNDP is delighted to be partnering with Vietnam in achieving and realizing this great aspiration.
Xử lý ô nhiễm rác thải biển và đại dương đòi hỏi nỗ lực và sự đoàn kết của tất cả mọi người, từ chính quyền trung ương đến địa phương, từ cộng đồng địa phương đến khách du lịch, và cả các cam kết hành động cụ thể để giảm thiểu việc sử dụng túi nhựa và đồ nhựa, thay thế chúng bằng những vật liệu thân thiện với môi trường có sẵn tại địa phương. Ngăn chặn ô nhiễm rác thải nhựa đại dương bắt đầu từ chính con người. Chỉ có chúng ta mới có thể đảm bảo một đại dương cũng như một tương lai khỏe mạnh cho bản thân và hành tinh này.
We have alarming figures. It is a food for thought for all of us. If we don't take action by 2050, the amount of plastic waste in the ocean can be more than the fish in the ocean. And it takes many, many years for us to correct the actions that we are doing with the marine environment. If we join hands and have a synergy right from now, we can see an ocean that become blue again, and in the future, we can see aquatic animal swimming in the ocean. That's why we are here today to participate in the launching workshop, for important workshop to join hands to reduce and to eliminate waste and plastic waste. And now I'd like to introduce a distinguished guest to our launching workshop today. Taking part in the workshop on the Quang Ninh province side, I'd like to introduce Mr. Cao Tường Huy, permanent deputy chairman of the Quang Ninh People's Committee. I would like to introduce Mr. Đào Thanh Lưỡng, member of the party committee, chairman of the Farmer Association of Quang Ninh, Madam Nguyễn Thị Vinh, the chairwoman of the Women's Union of Quang Ninh Province. We also have a leader and representative from the Party Development Committee, Functional Department, and the Fatherland Front, Social Mass Organizations, and local government representative in Quang Ninh Province. Ladies and gentlemen, on the side of Ministry of Environment, we have Mr. Nguyễn Quế Lâm, the Deputy Director General of Vietnam Administration of Seas and Islands (VASI). I'd like to introduce a representative from the International Cooperation Department and representative from Vietnam Environment Agency. On the UNDP side, I would like to introduce Madam Kathleen Wason, Resident Representative of UNDP Vietnam. On the Norway Embassy in Vietnam, I'd like to introduce Mr. Jan Winham Grith, Charter Fair of the Norwegian Embassy to Vietnam and Laos PTR. And besides, we also would like to introduce the Associate Professor Dr. Chu Hồi, member of the Steering Committee of the Small Grant Program of GEF. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have the live stream participants from UNDP, Government Agency, Norway Embassy in Thailand, Indonesia, the Philippines, and NORAD. Besides, we also have development partners as well as the mass media agency, related organizations and individuals. Warmly welcome all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, now let me introduce to the stage Mr. Huy Hậu, the permanent deputy chairman of the Quang Ninh People's Provincial People's Committee. I'm sorry, I would like to introduce another leader, Mr. Cao Tường Huy, the member of the party committee, deputy chairman of Quang Ninh Provincial People's Committee. Thank you. Mr. Chan Wilhelm Griff, Charter Affair of Norwegian Embassy to Vietnam and Laos PDR, Ms. Kathleen Wesen, Resident Representative of UNDP, the DWP5C under Monterey of Vietnam, Associate Professor Dr. Chu Hoi, together with all of the distinguished guests, representative participants taking part in the very important launching workshop today. On behalf of the people and the local government of Quang Ninh Province, I would like to warmly welcome the distinguished guests and participants to our launching workshop in Hạ Long City, the World Heritage. It is a gift of the nature to our world. And we are hosting this launching workshop, which is highly significant. As you all know, Quang Ninh Province is a province in the northeast of Vietnam. We are bordering with China on the mainland and on the sea. We have different heritages, especially we have the World Heritage Hạ Long Bay, which is very beautiful. Twice UNESCO have honored Hạ Long Bay, and the world organizations have acknowledged Hạ Long Bay as the world wonder. Hạ Long also have a center for coal production and electricity, which is the biggest in Vietnam at the moment. As you all know, in order to preserve, to develop the Hạ Long Bay World Heritage, together with exploitation of coal and electricity generation to ensure security of energy, this is a great challenge for the local government and people of Quang Ninh Province in implementing socio-economic development tasks and ensuring social security and a good environment. In the process of integration and development, we have recognized our own challenges and we have focused our efforts on developing and improving the environment. This is one of the strategic breakthroughs that we are implementing at the moment. In terms of the infrastructure, we are investing strongly in Quang Ninh Province. The world has come to Quang Ninh, and from Quang Ninh they go to other places in three ways. The first, by air, we have a Vinton International Airport, which is one of the modern airports in Vietnam. We have transport by sea connecting different countries in the region and the world. We have the roadway system. Now it takes only more than 1 hour to go from Hanoi to Quang Ninh Province. Previously, it took 4 to 5 hours. This facilitates Quảng Ninh to develop, especially develop our tourism, and we consider tourism service is one of the key in the economic sector of Quảng Ninh in the coming time. Every year, over the recent years, we have welcomed a lot of tourists to Quảng Ninh province. The number of tourists in Quảng Ninh is around 14 to 15 tourists per year. International tourists reach around 6 million. So that means the international tourists account for 1/3 of the total number of tourists coming to Quảng Ninh province. With such a high number of tourism, we are also facing great challenge, that is waste, especially plastic waste. We have seen a video clip and introduction by the MC. Every year we have to suffer from 8 million tons of the plastic waste going to the ocean. And Vietnam is one of the 5 countries to blame in Asia for such amount of plastic waste. So we can see it is also our great responsibility in terms of environment protection, especially handling plastic waste. Today we are very honored and pleased and proud to host this launching workshop, which is highly important and significant today. With the proposal of the Quảng Ninh Farmers Association, we have approved a project called Socialized model for the management of plastic waste in Hạ Long, funded by the Norwegian government and GEF. We highly appreciate this project. And when we approve the project, we also mobilize the participation of the people and government in Quảng Ninh. It is our goodwill with aspiration to involve all communities and people in Hạ Long Bay, along the coastal areas of Hạ Long Bay, to voluntarily and actively participate in the collection of waste in order to reduce the plastic waste and environment pollution on Hạ Long Bay. Together with that, I would like to share with you some information that over the past time, Quảng Ninh province has been very active in giving instruction to social political organization to be actively involved, and also our people to participate in environment protection project, especially dealing with plastic waste. Our women's union have the model of turning waste into money, and the model of fish eating plastic waste in Cô Tô, Cái Chiên and Hải Hà Islands, or the Green Sunday model on different streets, especially the model making baskets with the environmentally friendly materials, so that people do not go to market with nylon bags. We have a movement to distribute environmentally friendly bags for people to go to the street, so that plastic waste does not affect the environment. And there are many other models initiated by people, by social political organization in our locality over the past time. Ladies and gentlemen, with the viewpoint of sustainable development, especially paying attention to preserving and developing the Hạ Long Bay World Heritage value, we are highly aware that we have to participate in sustainably protecting our environment, creating an attractive environment for our people in Quảng Ninh province, and especially for tourists inside and outside the country coming to Vietnam in general, to Quảng Ninh and Hạ Long Bay in particular. Taking the opportunity of the launching event today, we hope that this workshop will be an opportunity for each of us to contribute our ideas and initiative to, first of all, to make our launching workshop the most successful, to come up with the most practical solutions. This is also a dynamism for the government and people of Quảng Ninh province to actively participate in environment protection projects and to create a friendly environment. We also hope that you come to Hạ Long, to Quảng Ninh province today, you will see the better images, which is better improved compared with the images on the video clip that you have seen. Thank you very much, and I wish the event a great success. Thank you very much, Mr. Cao Cường Huy, the Party Committee member and Deputy Chairman of Quảng Ninh PPC. Ladies and gentlemen, you have listened to the host province sharing with you some idea, and now I'd like to invite Madam Caitlin Wilson, Resident Representative of UNDP Vietnam, to make an
Mr. Cao Tuong Huy, Deputy Chairman from Quang Ninh Provincial People's Committee, Mr. Jan Willem Grith, Chargé d'Affaires of the Norwegian Embassy to Vietnam and Laos, Mr. Nguyen Quay Lam, Deputy Director General of Vietnam Administration of Seas and Islands, Monrey, representatives from local governments, Farmers Union, Women's Union, organizations in Quang Ninh, Da Nang, Binh Dinh, Binh Thuan, Binh Duong, and Quang Nam, Hoi An. Also colleagues joining us through live stream, government representatives, Norwegian embassies, UNDP country offices in Thailand, Indonesia, and the Philippines, as well as colleagues from NORAD, SINTEF, and other development partners. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning, Xin Chào, and warm welcome. I am delighted to join Mr. Huy in welcoming you all to this launching event in Ha Long Bay, an outstanding, beautiful World Natural Heritage Site for two very important new projects. The first, scaling up socialized models of waste management in 5 cities in Vietnam, and the Ending Plastic Pollution Innovation Challenge, or Eppic, in Asean countries. Let me start by thanking the Quang Ninh Provincial People's Committee, the Ha Long City People's Committee, and the Quang Ninh Farmers Union for organizing and hosting this important launch. I would like to extend our gratitude and deep appreciation to the government of Vietnam for managing COVID-19 in such an exemplary, outstanding way, such that we can celebrate this day together in person with Vietnamese participants, as well as virtually with participants from Thailand, Indonesia, and the Philippines. Today's event is particularly meaningful and timely, as today marks the 12th global celebration of World Oceans Day. I am very encouraged to see such a high level of interest in protecting our oceans from plastic and waste pollution, as evidenced by your participation here this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, on a more sobering note, as I deliver my speech, the equivalent of 5 truckloads of plastic waste will have entered the oceans. And 5 million single-use plastic bottles will have been sold around the world. Plastics are found everywhere on the planet, in the Arctic snow and in the deep waters of the Pacific. Oceans, marine biodiversity, rich ecosystems, and the livelihoods of coastal communities are now under threat as never before, with the exponential growth of plastics. Plastics are destroying marine life and polluting our Earth at an unprecedented rate. Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, and the Philippines are among the largest contributors of marine plastics. For example, in Vietnam, waste generation increased by 16% annually, and the country annually produces an estimated 1.8 million tons of plastic waste, of which only 27% is currently recycled. At the same time, we have good reasons for hope. Vietnam has made strong commitments at the highest levels of government to address this critical issue. Prime Minister Nguyen Xuan Phuc advocated for global action while launching national campaigns and adopting a national action plan with an impressive target of reducing marine plastic litter by 50% in 2025 and 75% in 2030. The implementation of our 2 projects today is very timely and important for accelerating actions to realize the Bangkok Declaration on combating marine debris in the Asean region and the Asean Framework of Action on Marine Debris, as well as Vietnam's National Action Plan on Marine Litter Management. The first project will be implemented in 5 coastal cities in Vietnam. These are Quang Ninh, Da Nang, Binh Dinh, Binh Thuan, and Binh Duong, in partnership with the Farmers Union in Quang Ninh and the Women's Union, who work daily with their communities to raise awareness on issues of waste and plastic pollution. They also work on issues of promoting green habits and improving local systems of waste management. The second project will promote and implement practical, innovative, and scalable solutions to combat plastic challenges in 4 coastal cities in ASEAN. Ladies and gentlemen, on this occasion, I would like to share with you 3 suggestions for reducing plastic pollution in ASEAN and Vietnam. First, while plastic pollution is a global problem, solutions start at the local level and require the active participation from all citizens. Every citizen should be empowered to be agents of change. Waste workers, especially informal sector workers, play a vital role in waste management systems and in advancing circular economy. However, these workers are vulnerable to many risks. For example, they are collecting and treating hazardous materials and medical waste, including discarded personal protective equipment used for treatment of COVID-19 in hospitals and quarantine facilities. Therefore, it is essential that the waste workers are protected, supported, and trained to support municipalities in becoming green and inclusive. Second, plastic waste does not know borders. Plastics travel across our seas, our rivers, our deltas, impacting all societies and economies. Fortunately, with the recognition of this pressing challenge of our time, initiatives and actions to combat plastic pollution are being advanced in Vietnam and countries in the ASEAN region. I applaud ASEAN countries for their joint actions and adoption of the Bangkok Declaration on combating marine litter last year. Moving forward, we also need to further enhance harmonized policy packages across ASEAN countries. This includes aligning on materials and packaging types by promulgating and enforcing pan-Asean standards, and sharing and financing research and development in alternative materials and recycling technologies. Thirdly, and finally, let us not forget that waste is or can be a resource. The circular economy approach will enable new production with secondary materials. By establishing the use of secondary materials, fewer virgin materials are needed, reducing demand for scarce and limited natural resources. UNDP's recent study on circular economy with Monterey shows that there is a tremendous opportunity for Vietnam to become a leader in the recycling and recovery market by establishing quality standards and certified testing facilities. This year's theme of World Oceans Day is Innovation for a Sustainable Ocean. Innovations that engage local communities and embrace new technologies are key to finding lasting solutions to plastic waste. New technologies and innovations offer a promising avenue to close the loop by recovering materials and thereby reducing our need to extract more resources. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to express my great appreciation to the Norwegian Embassy for their generous financial support to these two projects, for protecting oceans, reducing waste, and engaging local and regional partners in sustainable, innovative solutions. In conclusion, I would like to reaffirm that UNDP stands ready to partner with Vietnam and all partners at this meeting in this journey. And it's our journey together to reduce waste and plastic pollution and promote innovations for sustainable oceans. As we celebrate Oceans Day, we remind ourselves and others of the importance of caring for our planet. Working together, we can secure a sustainable future for all. I wish you all great health, great happiness, great success. Thank you. Xin cảm ơn.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ninh for your speech. Thưa quý vị, vừa rồi trong phần trình bày, bà Thanh cũng có nhắc tới những giải pháp để chúng ta có thể.
So, in her speech, Madam Kailin Wason also mentioned the different solutions, and these solutions can be applied to Vietnam and some other country. And now, I'd like to introduce a special person. And the Norway government play a very important role, and we'd like to introduce Mr. Jan Wilhelm Griff, Shadow Fair of the Norwegian Embassy to Vietnam and Laos PDR, to make a speech.
Thank you very much for being allowed to be here today. Dear Mr. Hui, Deputy Chairman of the Quang Ninh Provincial Party People's Committee, dear Dr. Lam, Deputy Director General of the Vietnam Administration of Seas and Islands, dear Mrs. Caitlin Wiesen, Resident Representative of UNDP, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Both Norway and Vietnam rely on and utilize our marine resources and oceans. We understand the importance of healthy and sustainable oceans in order to ensure food and energy for a growing global population in the years to come. I see here a great potential for increased cooperation between our two countries in order to realize the Sustainable Development Goals. We have a shared interest in keeping our oceans healthy and productive. It is estimated that 8 million tons of plastic end up in the ocean each year. Approximately 60% of the plastic litter in the ocean originates from 5 countries in the Southeast Asia, among them Vietnam. So I think we definitely are in the right place to do this type of project. Our future depends on managing the oceans in a sustainable way. We need clean and healthy oceans. Norway believes that we need to strengthen the global coordination and to assist countries in combating marine litter. In our view, this will best be achieved by a new global framework, but also by the individual activities in each country. As Ambassador Løken stated earlier in the video clip, the Norwegian government is committed to the oceans. Norway is playing a leading role in the global effort to promote clean and healthy oceans. 3 priority areas include sustainable use of value creation, clean and healthy oceans, and a sustainable blue economy in development policy. Marine litter originates from many different activities and consists of many different types of litter. Land-based waste constitutes the largest source of marine litter. Therefore, we must start on land in order to reduce the amount of marine litter. Building on UNDP's earlier successful approach and models in Hoi An, the project Scaling Up a Social Model of Domestic Waste and Plastic Management in 5 cities in Vietnam, aiming to develop integrated and effective models for improved domestic waste and plastic management, specifically does this. Regional cooperation is also important, as Ambassador Høglund stated in the video clip, given that marine litter is a major problem all over Southeast Asia, and combating this is the priority for the Asean. Therefore, it's important to learn from each other. The Eppic project will definitely contribute to this. What I find especially attractive with the 2 projects we launched today is, although they are small technical cooperation projects, they have the potential to be good role models for how to combat marine litter and so have a great multiplier effect. They also manage to extract synergies from each other and interact with other projects. So hopefully the overall result will be more than the outcome of each individual project. With strong coordination from the UNDP, good cooperation with counterparts in the 5 provinces, and synergies from other projects such as SINTEF's Ocean Plastic Turned into Opportunity in Circular Economy, and with the help from Monterey, we believe that these 2 projects presented here today will be a great success. Norway look forward to continued cooperation with Vietnam in order to address this issue through concrete projects, both on a bilateral approach, but also within a multinational framework. With these words, I wish you all a good health, lively discussion, and a fruitful partnership. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chan William.
Xin cảm ơn ông Chan William Griff. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce a special person sharing with you ideas in the program today. I would like to invite Mr. Nguyễn Quế Lâm, Deputy Director General of Vietnam Administration of Seas and Islands under Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment of Vietnam. Vâng, xin kính chào tất cả các quý vị đại biểu. Mr. Cao Trường Huy, member of the Party Committee, Deputy Chairman of Quang Ninh PPC, Madam Kathleen Weisin, Resident Representative of UNDP Vietnam, Mr. Chan William Griff, Shadow Affair of Norwegian Embassy to Vietnam, Laos, PDA, Professor Chu Hoi, the former Deputy Director General of VASI. Ladies and gentlemen, VASI would like to thank the organizing board for giving us an opportunity to speak here today on the occasion, the 8th of June 2020, the World Ocean Day in very beautiful Hạ Long Bay. First of all, I would like to send to you the wishes of good health and great success to our workshop. Ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, sea and ocean are the resources for life, a very important space and habitat of people and animal, and the foundation for sustainable development. However, seas and ocean are facing a serious issue. The first one is the plastic waste pollution in the ocean. It is the first time mentioned 50 years ago. At that time, the world has produced around 50 million tons of plastic waste plastic a year, and after nearly 2 decades, the plastic waste pollution become more serious. In 2014, every year, people produce around 300 million tons of plastic. Plastic waste can be seen in every body, in all habitats in the world, with the size from micrometer to meter. According to estimate, the ocean have to contain around 150 million tons of plastic waste, and the speed of increase is around 8 million tons per year. As you all know, Vietnam is a coastal Asian with the total sea area of more than 1 million square kilometer, around 3 times of the mainland area, with around 3,000 big and small islands, including Hoàng Sa and Trường Sa Islands. The coastal line is more than 3,000 kilometers along 28 cities and provinces. However, according to international experts, Vietnam is one of the countries that release a lot of plastic waste, and ranked number 4 among the top 20 countries with 0.3 to 0.8 million tons per year. The main reason leading to this huge amount of plastic waste is the way of production, the way of management, and the capacity in plastic waste treatment and awareness of the people. Plastic accounts for 64% in the packaging industry in Vietnam, and it is expected to increase, while only 14% of plastic waste are collected, segregated mainly by scrap collectors and small and medium-sized enterprises. That means 80%, the remaining 80%, equivalent to around 15,000 tons per day, are dumped in the landfill and without treatment. Plastic waste is highly dangerous for aquatic animals, leaving serious consequences for marine ecosystem and sustainability of the fishery. Plastic pollution have a negative impact on socio-economic and environmental sector, and the damage is around $2.5 billion per year due to the loss of the services value, as well as the cost for recovering marine ecosystem. Dealing with plastic pollution requires the collaboration of different stakeholders of the state, socio-political organizations, enterprises at both central and local level, the support of international community, especially the collaboration of our people. In the Quang Ninh province, Farmers Association of Socio-Political in Quang Ninh province will be involved, and we hope that they will take advantage of the current solution to prevent plastic waste and push up the management of plastic waste at the local level. At the central level, over the past year, according to proposal of 5C under Monterey of Vietnam, the party and the state have issued different documents showing strong political determination for enhancing the management and reduction of plastic waste, including marine plastic waste. For example, Resolution number 36, dated the 22nd of October 2018 of the Central Communist Party on the strategy for sustainable development of marine economy to 2030 with vision to 2045, with the objective of preventing, controlling, and reducing significantly ocean pollution and becoming a pioneering country in the region on reducing the ocean plastic waste. Resolution 26 on the 5th of March 2020 of the government issuing the master plan and 5-year plan of the government to implement the Resolution 36, Decision 1746 of December 2019 of the Prime Minister issuing the National Action Plan on marine plastic waste management to 2030. At the moment, VAC of Monterey of Vietnam is submitting to the Prime Minister for the approval of the project on enhancing plastic waste management and the project on developing the International Center on Ocean Plastic Waste to realize the initiative of Vietnam proposed in the GEF6 and G20 meeting in Osaka on promoting and forming the global network for information and data sharing on sea and ocean, so that we can aim at the global framework on preventing plastic waste for blue ocean. Ladies and gentlemen, today VAC is very honored to join hands with the UNDP to implement the project Ending Plastic Pollution Innovation Challenge, Eppic project. Through the Eppic project, we all hope to have more innovative solution to support ocean plastic waste management, as well as to implement the National Action Plan on the marine plastic waste. And most importantly, the objective of the project is to enhance the knowledge and the awareness of the officer of the people and enhancing international cooperation in managing marine plastic waste and developing the blue economy. Once again, I would like to thank you and wish you all very good health and great success. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Nguyễn Quế Lâm, Deputy Director General of VAC. Ladies and gentlemen, in the workshop today, besides the distinguished guests and participants who are here today, there are also participants joining us in different channels. And now, please look at on the screen to look at the video clip by Dr. Natarika Wayupap the Deputy Executive Director, Greenhouse Gases Management Organization of Monterey, Thailand.
Greetings from Thailand. Greetings from Thailand. During the social distancing measure, I'm Natarika Wayupap Nitipon, Deputy Executive Director of Thailand Greenhouse Gas Management Organization under the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment. I'm also working with the UNDP for the project on low carbon city management in Thailand, which the Samui Island participates as a partner of the project. According to the fact that Thailand is the 6th largest contributor to the marine waste globally. Every year, Thailand produces 2 million tons of plastic waste. Most of them are single-use plastic, with only 0.5 million tons were recycled, while 60% of the rest were leaking to the sea. The Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment announced the roadmap on plastic waste management from 2018 to 2030. And since the 1st of January 2020, Mr. Warawut Silapa Acha, Thailand's Minister of Natural Resources and Environment, banned the single-use plastic bags countrywide. On behalf of Thailand Greenhouse Gas Management Organization, I'm delighted to learn that the Samui Island, our beautiful island, is selected by the UNDP to be a part of the Ending Plastic Pollution Innovation Challenges. I am sure that the collaboration of Thailand and Vietnam will shed the light up on the common solution to the common problem, and together fight for the ending plastic waste pollution. I wish you all the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like also to thank Dr. Nitipon, Deputy Executive Director of Greenhouse Gases Management Organization, Monterey, Thailand, who is also attending virtually in our workshop today. So far, we have mentioned different statistics. We are well aware of the action of the people to our ocean and know what we have to do now in order to preserve the marine environment. To help you to have more information about the two projects that Vietnam and Norway implement in the coming time, I would like to invite Mr. Hoàng Thành Vĩnh, UNDP officer in Vietnam, to make the next presentation. Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cao Trường Huy, Madam Kathleen Weissen, Mr. John William Griff, Mr. Nguyễn Quế Lâm, Associate Professor Dr. Chu Hồi, and ladies and gentlemen, the distinguished guests, the international and national guests, and the virtual participants taking part in the launching workshop today. Let me introduce the two projects as the leaders have introduced to you this morning. These are two projects, the very important efforts to be join hands with the Vietnamese governments and government of other countries in reducing and eliminating plastic waste. I'd like to begin with our presentation with four parts. The first is the context. The second part is about the DWP5C project. The third one is about Eppic project, and the fourth is implementation arrangement. This morning you have listened to the information shared by the leaders in terms of statistics in environment pollution and plastic waste pollution. And my presentation also begin with the figures. Globally, solid waste, there is 2.1 billion tons of solid waste generated every year from municipalities. It will increase to 3.4 billion tons by 2050. And it is should be noted that the low-income countries by 2050, this figure will increase 3 times. So the speed of increase of generation of domestic waste is huge. In terms of plastic, at the global level, around 300 million tons of plastic produced annually, 40% of which are for plastic packaging. Maybe these figures are still hard to envisage, but you can see there are around 5 trillion disposable plastic bags used every year, and every minute around 1 million plastic drinking water bottles are purchased. So these are alarming figures. There are plastic waste challenges. Among 300 million tons produced, around 8 million end up in the ocean. 80% of marine plastic originate from land-based sources. As the leaders have mentioned in their speeches this morning, only 14% of plastic are recycled and less than 2% in a closed loop. With such a current status on plastic waste, according to a piece of research in 2017, to see the plastic flow from river into the sea. This is a simulation, and you can see the blue dots. These are the plastic waste running from the river to the ocean. So in Southeast Asia, this area, there is a high density of blue dots. It shows that the generation of the plastic flow from river to ocean in Southeast Asia is the biggest. And here are the specific figures. China, Indonesia, the Philippines, Vietnam, Sri Lanka. Ranking number 6 is Thailand. According to the study in 2015, it showed that these are the countries that contribute greatly to the flow of plastic waste into the ocean. In Vietnam, Monterey also conduct different studies on the composition of urban domestic solid waste and the content of plastic waste in domestic waste is also considerable. So the management of plastic, which is inappropriate, lead to environmental issues. One of the issues that scientists also mentioned a lot over the past time are the plastic products. When they go to the ocean, they will be broken down into the small debris, and they also contain a lot of toxic substances, and they go into the fish, the marine animals, and go into the human beings' bodies, affecting people's health. These are alarming issues. And there are ASEAN efforts over the past time to tackle plastic pollution. For example, Bangkok Declaration on Combating Marine Plastic Debris in June 2019. In 2019, Thailand made a political commitment to reduce marine debris by at least 50% by 2027. Indonesia is announcing a plan to tackle plastic pollution, and Philippines is starting the development of a nation policy and action plan on marine plastic litter. So we have efforts of Vietnam. In 2018, the Prime Minister issued the national plan on integrated waste management. Prime Minister issued document 161 to join hands to fight against plastic waste. And in 2019, there is an action plan for management of marine plastic litter by 2030, setting an objective of a reduction of 50% of marine plastic litter by 2025 and 75% by 2030. So, going along with the efforts of the governments of Vietnam and ASEAN countries, with the funding from the Norwegian government, UNDP Vietnam is implementing 2 projects. So I would like to introduce each of them. The first project is a scaling up a socialized waste management model in 5 cities, DWP5C. The objective of this project is to develop integrated models to improve domestic waste and plastic management in 5 sites in Quang, Ninh, Đà Nẵng, Bình Thuận, Bình Định, and Bình Dương provinces. The timeline of the project is September 2019 to December 2021. Here are the key outputs of the project. 5 cities established the small-scale effective models of domestic waste management. Second, increased income and safer working conditions for waste collectors. Increased awareness and participation of all stakeholders, enhanced regulatory framework and capacity, and 5th, innovation and information platforms promoted. So with such key outputs, the project has 2 components. The first component is a scaling up socialized model of waste management. The scaling up is based on the successful experiences in Hội An, conducted by UNDP in 2010 and 2012. After 2 years of implementation in Hội An city, we have encouraging results. We have set up 4 waste community organizations created and increased the collected waste to 56%, reduce the landfill waste of 70%, and increase revenue for women waste collector. Based on such a success, The objective of the project is to scale up these results in the 5 cities I have mentioned. And on such a basis, later on you will listen to an introduction of a project conducted in Quang Ninh province, implemented by Farmer Association. The key activities of the project include call and select for proposal of viable model from local NGO from targeted cities, map out local waste system, stakeholder and dialogue, support to the establishment of waste management model, financial scheme and task forces, communication campaign and documentation of lessons learned, collaboration with Optos project on co-processing unrecyclable plastic in cement kiln. This is component 2 of this project, that is introduction of circular economy approach to waste and plastic. You may have heard about the concept of circular economy in a closed loop from the production to consumption to disposal of waste and turning waste into resources. So here are the key activities under component 2, national communication campaign for behavioral change, training on circular economy for enterprises, providing technical support, and applying new regulations on waste and plastic, study the plastic life cycle in one city, and launch of a regulatory sandbox, network and data knowledge platform on circular economy for Vietnam. So this is key activities of component 2 of the first project. And now I'll move on to the second project, Eppic project, ending plastic pollution innovation challenge. This is a project to promote the mitigation of plastic pollution in coastal area in Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, and the Philippines, with the timeline from the beginning of 2020 to June 2022. The output is a portfolio of innovative solutions to be deployed in 5 ASEAN countries. Here are the output 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3. They are rather technical. However, in the first component, this is a competition to look for innovative solutions. So this competition will first be organized in the first year in Thailand and Vietnam, and the second year in Indonesia and the Philippines. The title for the competition is Hạ Long. The competition will be organized in Hạ Long and Koh Samui Islands to look for innovative solutions to tackle plastic pollution in selected cities. When the competition starts, there will be the requirement, and based on such a requirement, related individuals and organizations can join. The authority, enterprises, and community organization and individuals from 10 ASEAN countries can participate in the competition to propose the innovative solution. This solution will be screened, and in October 2020, they will participate in a pitching competition organized by UNDP and VASI. And we will choose for the best solution to deal with the plastic pollution in Hạ Long and Koh Samui, and we will connect with the investment fund in the region so that they can receive funding from them to implement the solution in reality, contributing to reducing plastic waste and scaling up not only in Hạ Long and Koh Samui Island, but also in many areas in Vietnam and ASEAN countries. Here are the information about the jury for the competition, and they have accepted our invitation to participate as jurors. Besides Hạ Long and Cơ Samui Island, we also have a representative from NORAD, from Ocean Fund Circulate Capital, the funding organization for the good innovative solution, Ellen MacArthur Foundation. This is the Circular Economy Fund and the Center for Innovation of UNDP. Here are the expected jurors for our competition. So I have introduced to you the competition under component 1 of Eppic project. This is component 2 of the project, that is to enhance the capacity in Vietnam and knowledge cooperation networking in ASEAN countries for prevention and reduction of plastic waste is increased. Output 2.1 is increased awareness of the marine plastic waste and circular economy for plastic waste. Output 2.2 is renewal capacities and capability of key stakeholders developed to ensure the sustainability of solution to address plastic solution. That's why we coordinate with the VASI to set up an international research center on marine plastic litter established, and we hope that it will be put into operation under the framework of this project. The next one is to ASEAN platform supported to facilitate the collaboration of plastic actors or innovators, so that we can share the information on plastic waste management in forums to enhance collaboration. So I have presented to you information, the objective and activities of our 2 projects, and now I'd like to talk about implementation arrangement. For the DWP5C project, it will be implemented by UNDP Vietnam. It will utilize the UNDP GEF SPG a small grant program to work with NGOs, CSOs at the local level. Although today we are here to launch this project, the project have had very good initial preparation in collaboration with local social mass organization, that is Quang Ninh Farmers Union, and in other locality women's unions in Da Nang, Bình Định, Bình Thuận and Bình Dương provinces. Besides, within the framework of this project, UNDP also collaborate with other projects like Optocy of Syntex and collaborate with East Monterey of Monterey on promoting the circular economy. For Eppic project, Ending Plastic Pollution Innovation Challenge, it will also be implemented by UNDP Vietnam. And in Vietnam, Vietnam Administration of Seas and Island VASI is a main government counterpart. Besides UNDP Vietnam, through UNDP of other countries, Thailand, Indonesia and the Philippines, also engage government counterparts in the implementation of Eppic. And you can see the focal agency in Thailand has also been involved to collaborate with UNDP Vietnam in implementation of this project. Besides, within the framework of Eppic project, we also collaborate with WWF Plastic Project in terms of communication activities and join other local and regional networks on plastic waste. So these are overview information and comprehensive information about the 2 projects, DWP5C and Eppic project. I'd like to end my presentation with a quote: by taking action in the right direction, Vietnam could change from one of the world's polluters to one of its greatest drivers for innovation on holistic solution to the problem of plastic waste. So I would like to end my presentation here. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'd like to wish all of you very good health and great success to our launching workshop, and I'd like to wish environment and ocean protection a great success. Thank you.
Xin được trân trọng cảm ơn ông Hoàng Thành Vĩnh, cán bộ chương trình UNDP
Thank you,
tại Việt
Mr.
Nam.
Hoàng Thành
Và thưa
Vĩnh,
quý vị, như vậy là chúng ta đã vừa được cùng lắng nghe những
program
phương
officer
pháp mà
in
chúng ta
Vietnam.
có thể
You have
thực hiện
listened
ngay
to
bây giờ
the
để
solution that
giúp
we
bảo
can
tồn
do
môi
right
trường biển.
now.
Và ở phần tiếp theo của chương
And in
trình
the
thì
next
chúng ta
part
sẽ
of
có
the
cơ hội được
program,
lắng nghe nhiều hơn nữa
we
từ
will
những mô hình đã thực hiện
hear
thành công và cùng
from
học hỏi xem làm thế
the
nào để có thể
models
áp dụng được
which
những mô hình
are
thành công này
successful and
tới
how
những
to
địa
apply
phương
this
khác
model
ở trên
in
cả nước
other
ta.
localities
Còn bây giờ
all
thì cho
over
phép
the
anh Trang
country. And now I'd like to invite all of you and the distinguished guests to have a tea break for around 15 minutes. After that 15 minutes, I'd like to invite all of you to go back to the meeting room so that we can resume our workshop. Thank you. Warmly welcome all of the distinguished guests and participants back to the workshop, where we can see that a lot of the people are coming into the room. So please go into the room and be seated so that we can resume. And now I'd like to continue to better understand about the project in Quảng Ninh. And I'd like to invite Mr. Nguyễn Văn Đường, Vice Chairman of Quảng Ninh Farmer Association, to make the presentation on the local project in Quảng Ninh, building community-based model for management, classification, collection and treatment of plastic waste in Hạ Long Bay. The resident representative of UNDP Vietnam, Mr. Jan Rith, Charter Fair and Norwegian Embassy to Vietnam and Laos, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. So on behalf of the project, I would like to thank you very much and wish of you very good health. I'd like also to thank UNDP and thank you very much for organizing this launching workshop in Quảng Ninh province, a highly significant workshop. Warmly welcome to all of you to the Quảng Ninh today. I'd like to wish the event a great success. First of all, let me present our project implemented in Quảng Ninh province. And the Quảng Ninh PPC have issued the decision 4939 approving the project. And then the UNDP in Vietnam have signed a cooperation agreement, and implementation will begin in January 2020 to January 2022, and the project will be in 24 months. The province and UNDP have approved the implementation of this project, so the project start from January. So I'd like to briefly introduce about our project. The implementing agency is Quảng Ninh Farmer Association in 24 months in 4 wards in Hạ Long City, Tuần Châu, Hà Phong, Hồng Hà, and Hồng Hải, ward of Hạ Long City. The total funding for the project is 6.7 billion Vietnam dong from the Norway side, from GEF. So UNDP fund 1.4 billion and GEF 1.15 billion. With the Norway funding, we also provide our counterpart fund from the provincial budget of 2.3 billion Vietnam dong. And together with the local government budget, we also have funding from the Farmer Association and the community-based organizations, sources, different unit agencies in Hạ Long City, with the total additional funding is of 1.3 billion Vietnam dong. So the total funding from different sources for implementation of the project is 6.7 billion Vietnam dong. The key stakeholders participated in the project are the women waste collector, fishermen, fishing boats, tourist boat sailors, households, farmers, cooperative, public officers, and civil servants, member farmer association, women's union, youth union, school children, and enterprises. They directly participate in our project. We set 3 objectives as follows. First is raising the awareness, integrated management capacity of domestic and marine waste for the community, social political organizations, and local government. Second, piloting community-based model for integrated management of waste, saying no to plastic wastes, and contributing to reducing marine plastic waste. And thirdly, basing on the results of the project, we will propose policy recommendations and solutions for integrated management of waste, zero marine plastic waste. And it will be the basis for implementation in the coming time. The key activities of the project, we focus on the activities on the ocean and developing the different models. In terms of communication, we focus on the forms of communication such as workshop, training, communication, mobile propaganda activities, innovation competition, and waste audit, and social media to communicate for the project. For model development, we will develop 15 models in 4 words: 1 route, 2 schools, 2 fishing and tourism boat stations. We will establish 4 sub-associations of women waste collectors in 4 words. We will develop and transfer circular economy model in the secondary school in Hạ Long and Lê Thánh Tông secondary school. We will set up an exhibition kiosks introducing replacement for single-use plastic, and the model say no to nylon bags and single-use plastics, and develop livelihood model to increase people's income. For facilities and equipment, we have facilities, equipment, tools, materials, means for communication, and provide loans for deploying livelihood models. In terms of the implementation of the project and management of the project, we have the management board and the local technical group and expert group. We have around 19 members from functional agencies and departments of the province, departments of Hạ Long city and related units. And for experts, we invite experts from Hội An, central expert, local expert, representative of functional agency and department, local technical staff, universities and schools. Participating in the implementation of the project, we have the different functional departments and related units and community. They will collaborate and support us. It include Donray, Doet, Farmer Association, Women's Union, Youth Union, Hạ Long University, people, and enterprises in the locality. Over the past time, the project has implemented some activities And up to now, in the first 6 months, we also have a social distancing time in COVID-19 pandemic. So we had slow progress for a certain time. However, during this time, we also implemented some activities, and here are some illustration photos. First, conducting survey on project sites. We conducted survey, the expert group, executive board, together with the community, have conducted survey in areas related to waste originating places, coastal area in Hạ Long Bay, collection points of wastes, and waste treatment areas. So we do survey to understand the situation and organize the implementation of different models in the most efficient way. We also organize a study tour to Hội An City. Joining hands with department agency, we have 15 participants, representative of different agencies and units in Hạ Long City, to go to Hội An to learn from their experiences, their way of work, their management in Hội An City. We also visited the project sites in Hội An, for example, waste treatment points, and facilities using recyclable. And we listen to the community and the people to learn from them and to apply in the project. Besides, we also organize consultation workshops to implement the project. We have a different workshop, consultation workshop at provincial level, at grassroots level. And for these workshops, we have participants from leadership of departments and agencies and enterprises. The national coordinator, Ms. Hiền, also attended some of our workshops, also discussed and shared experiences and give us guidance. We have in-depth participation of community, of people in developing the models and implementing propaganda and communication activity to achieve the highest level efficiency. We also organize regular meetings of the executive board and consultant group, and we have the participation of experts at the central level and experts from Quảng Nam province who come to support us. There is also support of the National Steering Committee. During COVID time, we have online meetings, and you can see the illustration of online meetings during social distancing month. In Hà Phong commune, in Hà Phong ward, it is the first word for the implementation of the project. We first organized a workshop for project implementation in Hà Phong ward. The expert group, technical group, leaders of Hà Phong ward and functional agencies of Hà Phong ward reached a high consensus in implementing activities here in this ward. The local government were deeply involved. They have a strong commitment and support and are highly determined to implement the project. We have also collaborated with the steering committee, with the coordinator of a small grant program, Here we have Professor Chu Hoi, who also give us a lot of guidance. We also have the people from the Vietnam Agricultural Institute, Mr. Ching in Cù Lao Chàm and Hội An also come to help us. We organize TOT on integrated management of waste and plastic waste communication. And we have involvement of the households at the grassroots level. We conduct training for them so that they have a better awareness and understanding, so that they can be better involved in implementation of the project. We also establish the Hà Phong Sub-Association of Women Waste Collectors. So these are the scrap collector, recyclable scrap collector, or we call them women waste collectors. We also deploy the composting model. This afternoon, you will visit our composting model site. 20 households participated in this model. They also sign letters of commitment, and you can see the picture of them signing the commitment for participating in the composting model. Here are the households participating in composting production in Hà Phong ward, and technical experts are guiding the farmers on how to do composting. Another thing that we do is doing waste audit. We did it in Hà Phong ward as well. We did a waste audit in many places, in community, in fishing boat, on tourism boats, in some agencies and organizations. And also waste audit in this building, and also in Hà Phong ward. Here are some illustrations of households who are collaborating with us in doing waste audit at the community and local level. Around 2 days ago, the executive board of the project, the Provincial Farmers Association, collaborated with the social mass organization Fatherland Front and Hạ Long City to launch a movement on the occasion of the World Environment Day, Sea and Island Week, and World Ocean Day. And in that launch, we have a lot of participants, more than 300 of them, including the border guard soldiers. We organized after the event many activities as well, with the people participating in clearing the beach. We also put fish seedling into the sea. So here are some initial activities, and although the 6 months is not long, and also it is during COVID time, so we do not have many opportunity to go down to the grassroots level. If it was not COVID time, maybe there would be many more activities. So that is my presentation of our project. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, on behalf of the executive board of the project, I would like to express our thanks for the small grant program of GEF and UNDP and GEF for supporting us with resources to implement the project. And we have 2 donors for this project. The first one is SGP of GEF and the Norwegian government. Here we have a representative of Norwegian embassy today, and they have supported us a lot in doing this project. We also received the attention, the instruction, the support in terms of financial resources and spirit for the functional agency and department of the province and people and community in Four Words in particular and Hạ Long City in general. We also have a leader of Hạ Long City here who give us a lot of support in the project implementation. In the community, we have 30 women waste collectors who are the members of our sub-association. They also are highly determined. So on behalf of the executive board, I would like to thank all of you for participating and for sharing with us. We also have a representative of 4 other provinces, Đà Nẵng, Bình Định, Bình Thuận, and Bình Dương, who come to Quảng Ninh province to attend the workshop and to contribute ideas for our project. I strongly believe that with such interest and support of UNDP, of the Norwegian government, of different agency, department, and all of you, the project will be a success, and we are highly determined to achieve the highest result possible for the project. Once again, thank you very much and wish the launching workshop a great success. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Nguyễn Văn Đường, Deputy Chairman of Quảng Ninh Farmers Union. Through the illustration photos, you can see that there are many activities that have been implemented, and there will be more activities in the coming time. And especially over the past time, as I already mentioned, Hội An have also have a socialized model for reducing waste and plastic. And today, learning from the Hội An model, where we see what we can apply to other provinces all over the country. So, in order to answer that question, and there are also the suggestion for other provinces. So please join our round table with the special guests that we have invited here. I would like to introduce Ms. Nguyễn Thị Tày from the Hội An Sub-Association of Women Waste Collector, Madam Nhung, Chairwoman of the Women's Union in Hội An, Dr. Chu Mạnh Trinh, the Marine Protected Area Cù Lao Chàm, and Ms. An from Quy Nhơn, Mr. Trần Văn Bình, Vice Chairman of Bình Thuận, and Mr. Nguyễn Văn Đường, Vice Chairman of the Farmer Association in Quảng Ninh Province. So please, 6 of you, can you all go onto the stage to join the roundtable discussion with us? And please give an applause to all of the guest speakers. Thank you, all of you, for reserving time to take part in our roundtable. And we hope that through this roundtable today, we can together send the message to the distinguished guests and participants, the valuable information. Then we can join hands to reduce plastic waste in the ocean. So without further ado, I'd like to reserve the question to the guest speakers here. So for the first question is for Dr. Chu Mạnh Trinh. Dr. Chu Mạnh-Chinh, as a person who have accompanied Hội An City in the very first day of the socialized model for waste management in 2010. In the 5 project in the coming time, what we can learn from Hội An model? We actually learn a lot from our socialized model of waste management in Hội An. The first lesson learned is that Hội An give us a new approach. Waste is not only waste, it is a system. There is a waste route from the generation to segregation to collection and treatment points. So we can see that waste is also resources, and we can turn them into money. And secondly, we need to see where the waste will go. We need to link our waste issue with air pollution, with ocean pollution and other problems, and so that we can involve wider participation not only of women waste collectors but also scientists, managers and other stakeholders. The second lesson learned that we learned from Hội An is that we have the involvement of the political system, the participation of state management officer, of enterprises and community. And waste is not the sole responsibility of anybody. It is the responsibility of all stakeholders. The third lesson learned, which is very important, is the role of the waste collectors, the people who we think are vulnerable in the society. And Hội An can raise the importance of these people. And from Mr. Duong's presentation, you can see there is a wide participation of women waste collector. So these are the good lessons learned in Hội An. Thank you. A big applause for what Hội An has done. So now when you visit Hội An City, you can see clean streets, and people have a good awareness in collecting and segregating waste. And Dr. Chinh also mentioned the women waste collectors, the scrap collectors in Hội An City. After the program, their life have had a new chapter. And next to me is one of that special woman who have involved in Hội An project for many years, and she's also wearing a uniform of the Hội An Women's Union to join hands to raise their voice to the community. So please, a big applause to Miss Tai, who is next to me here. Can you say hello to everybody? Good morning, all the participants and distinguished guests. Wish all of you good health. Yeah, I know that besides you, at the back there are also many women who also have a good influence to the society and community, and you represent them in participating in this round table. Do you remember the very first day when you started to join the project? What was your feeling and what activity did you do? Yeah, I remember 10 years has passed since I participated in this project, and we joined the program of Women's Union in Hội An Union. And after each day, we write down the volume of scrap that we can collect for the day. Yeah, besides that, kind of booklet for keeping record of the volume of scrap. What else? I have a wagon, and I carry the scrap on the wagon provided by the project, and it is more convenient for me, and I can carry more scrap then. And I also try to persuade people to do waste segregation at source. So 10 years has passed, but can you remember long time before that when you haven't participated in the project? What was your life? Do you feel inferior about what you were doing at that time? No, I don't feel inferior because I myself choose to do that job as a women waste collector and scrap collector. But without the support of the project, we had more difficult life. And since joining the project, our life is improved and our work is facilitated. So do you remember when you first started joining the project? What activity did you do? Did you receive any training? Yes, Women's Union also do communication and training for us so that we can collect more of the scrap and we can better communicate and persuade the households to do segregation at source. What do you feel about your job now? After 10 years, you are also the communicator and you also are helping the community. What do you feel about your job now? My work is better now. I don't feel inferior at all. Okay, one more question. Do you remember that? Previously, when you didn't participate in the project, what was your typical day? How much do you earn from collecting scrap? And now when you join the project, you have a wagon. So what is the difference in terms of income compared with before? Previously we had less income and now we have a wagon, then we can buy more scrap. So my income is increased. So you are smiling, so it means that your life will be, has been better. How many children have you got? I have 3 daughters. What are they doing? The first daughter was a teacher and the other 2 work in the tourism sector. Okay, the first daughter is a teacher, the other 2 daughters are work in the tourism sector. So I think that you have inspired them to work in the tourism sector and education sector to bring better things for the community. That's wonderful. Do you want to continue to participate in the project or continue to do communication to bring the knowledge to many more people and help people to change their awareness? Yes, I want to continue if my health is good. Okay, a big applause to Miss Tai. Thank you very much for sharing with us. I have a feeling that you are very happy and you don't think that your work is hard now, and you are now contributing to the society and community as well to make your life more complete. Another person next to Miss Dai is also the women who go along with other women waste collector in Hội An. That is Ngô Thị Tuyết Nhung, the chairwoman of Hội An Women's Union. And I'd like to ask Miss Nhung, can you share with all of us here about the efficiency that you can get in Hội An project? Good morning to all of the participants. Hội An is very honored to take part in this roundtable to share Hội An experience over the past time. This project received the support of the GEF in 2010. The project actually started in January 2011 and June 2013. To June 2013. In 30 months. So you have already been shared with the results of the project. The Women's Union I would like to say that this project affirms the role and position of women in dealing with waste problem in Hội An City. So through the project, we can see their very good role in coordinating with Hội An local government to deal with waste issue, because the landfill in Cẩm Hà commune is now overloaded. And second, the project help us to collaborate with women waste collectors. They are considered vulnerable in the society, and so far they haven't been paid due attention to by social mass organization. That's why we want to collaborate with them to facilitate them in their work, to increase their income, develop their family economy, and also contribute to waste treatment in Hội An City. And thirdly, we can see that through the project, we organize 6 training courses for the waste collectors. It helped to enhance their awareness and communication skill. And around 100 women waste collectors, some of them are not Hội An people, local people, but they come from other places, but they come to collect waste in Hội An. They become our communicators to the community. Like Miss Tai, she visits some households, and they also communicate about waste separation at source. I think that through the communication of the Women's Union, the communication bring good result to help Hội An to become eco-tourism city. Thank you, Ms. Nhung, for your sharing of information. Ms. Tai and other women waste collector, if they do not segregate waste at source, you will not buy scrap from them, right? Then they can raise their awareness. So I think that the women waste collectors here are not vulnerable people anymore. They are inspiring people. They can raise their voice and do communication to help raise awareness among the community. We also have other guest speakers here. I would like to invite other guest speakers. Let me talk with Madam Hoa. Madam Hoa, in the activities in Quy Nhơn, the Women's Union of Quy Nhơn province have gathered more than 800 waste collectors in 20 wards and communes in the city, right? A very big number. So can you share with us what you are doing in Quy Nhơn province, and what will be your next step to learn from Hội An and apply in Quy Nhơn? On behalf of Quy Nhơn City, I would like to wish all of you very good health and great success to our workshop. First of all, Quy Nhơn City has just participated in the project for Quy Nhơn Women's Union. We received the attention and support of the City People's Committee so that we can become the agency directly in implementing the project. The project will end in October 2022 with the duration of 24 months. I would like to answer the MC's question. Quy Nhơn Women's Union would like to say that in Quy Nhơn City, after the social distancing time during COVID-19 epidemic, the City People's Committee assigned Dalizer and Women's Union and the local government at commune and ward level to do survey of the groups of waste collectors and waste collectors who work on their own in Quy Nhơn City. The City Women's Union conduct survey in 21 wards and communes. In Quy Nhơn, we have 21 wards and communes, and we do the survey all of them. There are 810 women waste collectors in the city at the moment, and there are 4 self-managed groups of waste collectors in Quy Nhơn City. So the 810 waste collectors they also receive support from GEF. In the coming time, when the project comes into implementation, it will be implemented in 4 communes and wards among 21 wards and communes. Our plan is that we will set up 5 waste collectors, women waste collectors. They will join hands to set up a kind of group, and we implement that activity in 4 wards and communes. We will make a plan from now to end of 2020 for that. The project is to implement 42 activities, including the activity to support women waste collectors. Previously, they work on their own, but now with the attention and support of the project and Women's Union under the project, within 24 months, we will also establish the group of waste collectors to inspire the community. We will learn from Hội An City to apply in the coming time, and we will establish the community-based association of women waste collectors. Yeah, thank you, Ms. Hoa. Please give a big applause for what Quy Nhơn have been doing. And here we have a person from Bình Thuận province. In Bình Thuận, you see a very special thing. The tourism enterprises participate actively in this project. We are curious how Bình Thuận can call for their participation and support. So I'd like to ask Mr. Trần Văn Bình, what are the lessons learned that other provinces can get from you? Before answering directly the question, I would like to say thank you for the own resident representative of UNDP and the representative of Norwegian Embassy. Thank you very much for your support to our project. To answer the MC's question, I would like to say that 13 years ago, when I started an enterprise, small enterprise in Mũi Né, Bình Thuận province, at that time there was a lot of waste from restaurant on the street. I can see waste everywhere, and everybody release the waste and plastics into the environment. And we started our activity among the tourism enterprises. For example, when the tourists have breakfast, the tourists, because at that time not many dustbins were available, so they often throw the plastic bottles everywhere, and we have to encourage the staff to collect such waste. And then after that we established different models and scale up successful models. In 2019 I participated as a vice standing chairman of the Tourism Association in Vinton province, and I joined hands with the people in the executive board to make the tourism environment better. The most important thing are not human beings, are not facility, but the environment. Tourism, you know, has many tourists everywhere, and tourists from 150 countries have come to Brunei. There are a lot of foreign tourists. They come from civilized places. So we learn from them, and we understand that we have to do something. The resort capital was established in Brunei around 10 years ago, and a lot of tourists compliment us. They go into our resort and they say that, oh, it looks like heaven, because the resorts are very clean, no waste at all. So it creates the dynamism for us to try more and to try better. The more compliments we get from tourists, the more tourists we can receive. Then we can join hands and we can launch a program on environment protection. All members of our association participated, and up to now we have a clean day program, and every Thursday of the week all of the staff and officer from manager to the staff join hands with the local government to collect waste. At first we did it in our resorts, and then we spread the effect onto the streets so that we can raise the awareness of the people, and so that the community people can join hands with us to make a more beautiful tourism destination. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Bing, for sharing with us. It's wonderful when the tourism enterprises in Bình Thuận are willing to join hands, and the awareness of people has been raised. So Brunei and Bình Thuận will try their best to become the havens for tourists, international and domestic tourists who come to look at the beauty of the haven. Coming back to Mr. Nguyễn Văn Đường, who have just made a presentation with a lot of activities and images that we can see in Hạ Long. So through the sharing of idea from other people, so what is the thing that you like most about the project? First, I'd like to wish all of you very good health and say greeting to all of you. I'd like to thank all the distinguished guests for sharing very valuable ideas. First, about the implementation of the project, we learned lessons from many places, especially in Hội An. And we, at first we think that waste project is a very difficult project. That means we need to be highly determined. And next, we need to think a lot, learn a lot. Previously, we also have some GEF project. So At first, when we participated in the project, we had a lot of difficulties, but Ms. Huyền, UNDP people, and Mr. Hoi, Chu Hoi, Mr. Chu Mạnh Trinh also give us advice, and Mr. Phong give us the guidance. So within our project, we conducted a lot of activities, especially we developed many models. And when we apply other models into Quảng Ninh province, we need to think very carefully. That is the establishment of the Association of Women Waste Collectors. In order to do so, we need to start from the people, and the support of the community and the different level is very important. You were very, you had a very good model in Hội An with enthusiastic women waste collectors. And at first, you were the vulnerable people with low income, difficult situation. But later on, you can have a better income, a more stable life. It is wonderful. And Ms. Tai from Hội An feel very pleased in joining the project. I hope that you can inspire women waste collectors in Quảng Ninh. In this workshop, we have 30 women waste collectors from Quảng Ninh province as well. Maybe the women waste collectors in Quảng Ninh need to learn from Hội An. And I hope that the Hội An women waste collector can inspire our women waste collectors so that they can successfully implement the project in Quảng Ninh. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Đường. And in the audience, we also have 30 women waste collector in Quảng Ninh. So, do you think that you are highly determined in participating in the project? Can you clap the hand? Yes, thank you very much. And coming back to the final question to Ms. Tai again, who is next to me. So we can see the efficiency of the project. We can feel proud of what we do. So over the past COVID time, whether it create any difficulty for your life or your work. Yes. We were affected because we don't have foreign tourists, and we do not have a lot of scrap to collect. So what is your wish now? I hope that foreign tourists can continue to come to Vietnam so that our work become better. So the awareness of the people, of the community is very important in creating very beautiful marine environments to invite the international tourists to come. So once again, thank you very much all the guest speakers who have shared valuable lessons learned from your locality. And these are also the lesson learned to replicate in other cities and provinces. So a big applause for all the guest speakers today. Thank you very much for joining the round table. Ladies and gentlemen, in the first part of the workshop, Madam Caitlin Wesson also mentioned the solutions to give a better support to women waste collectors and also to protect our natural heritage. And we can do that through supporting people like Ms. Tai here or 30 women waste collectors in Quảng Ninh so that they can better protect yourself in doing your work, because you are directly in touch with hazardous industrial waste, hospital waste and plastic waste. So you need to protect yourself. So that's why in the program today we would like to invite to the stage the people who are women waste collectors. Can you join the stage with us to receive the gifts? They are the protective gears that you can use in your work so that you can do your work better. So now I'd like to invite the first group of women waste collector. First 10. Can you please all come here? First 10 people.
Để chúng ta nhận những món quà này. Xin mời cô ạ. Xin mời các cô, xin mời các chị ạ. Xin chào các cô, xin chào các chị ạ. Wow. Ngày hôm nay mình được tham dự hội thảo nên là mình có những bộ trang phục rất là
So because you attend the workshop, then you don't wear uniform today, right?
Và cho biết quay trang được mời bà Kelly Wilson và ông Đào Thanh Lưỡng có thể cùng lên sân khấu để trao tặng những món quà là những.
So I'd like to invite Madam Kathleen Wilson and Mr. Jan Grith to come onto the stage to give gift to them. So after receiving the gift, can you please stay on to take a group photo?
Đây sẽ là những món đồ sẽ hỗ trợ cho các cô các chị rất nhiều trong hoạt động của mình ạ.
So these presents will help you in your work. And Miss Kathleen and can you stay on to have a group photo with them? Thank you very much. So can you go back to your seat? Thank you, Mr. Luong and Miss Kathleen Wilson. And now I'd like to invite the second group. Can you all come here? Can you go onto the stage and get ready? And now I'd like to invite Mr. Jan Winham Grith and Madam Nguyễn Thị Vinh to present the gift to women waste collectors.
Hy vọng rằng sau chương trình ngày hôm nay thì các cô, các chị sẽ cùng ghi nhớ và cùng lắng nghe những chia sẻ. Chúng ta là những người truyền cảm hứng, là những người có công rất lớn trong việc hỗ trợ những người dân nâng cao ý thức về việc bảo vệ môi trường và phân loại rác. Chúng ta hãy tiếp tục phát huy những điều này để có thể có được một cộng đồng, một môi trường thật là xanh sạch đẹp. Thưa các cô, các chị.
And now I invite all of you to take a group photo and big hand to all of them.
Xin được chân thành cảm ơn ạ. Và ngay sau đây chúng tôi xin được mời các chị ở nhóm thứ 3 hãy cùng di chuyển lên sân khấu ạ. Các chị ở nhóm thứ 3 là những người.
So the third group of women collector. Oh, you wear very beautiful blue uniform.
Đẹp quá, đẹp quá, đẹp quá. Xin được mời các chị, các anh, chúng ta hãy cùng di chuyển lên sân khấu ạ. Và chúng tôi xin được trân trọng kính mời bà Kelly Wilson và ông Jan Grith sẽ cùng nhau tặng quà.
So I'd like to invite Miss Kathleen Wilson and Jan William Grith to present the gift to the third group.
chính ở trên những chiếc áo này.
So you can see no waste along coastal area in Hạ Long Bay. So please inspire not only women collector but also tourists in Hạ Long.
Xin cảm ơn các chị rất nhiều. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And Mrs. Kanin Wason, can you please stay on the stage for your final speech?
So, ladies and gentlemen, now we will go to the final remark, the closing remarks. We would like to invite Madam Kailin Wilson to stay on the stage to make these closing remarks.
Ladies and gentlemen, is this working? Yes, it's working now. It should be working now.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of UNDP, allow me to extend to all of you our great appreciation for your joining us in How Long City for the launch of these two important projects. This morning, we had the honor to listen to a number of presentations and discussions from our partners who shared their experiences and perspectives. Allow me to highlight 4 takeaways from this morning's discussion. First, we heard from our partners that the inclusion of waste pickers is key to enhance local waste management systems. Combined with awareness campaigns and effective community motivation, they are an important part of the transition towards green and inclusive cities. Second, we remind ourselves that waste and plastic are, in fact, economic resources. We need to segregate, collect, and recycle our waste to fast-track the development of markets for secondary materials. Third, the importance of partnerships was also mentioned several times. It is critical to coordinate our actions to protect our oceans. We need to continue partnering with the government, NGOs, businesses, and citizens at the national and Asean levels. This is precisely what we have done today. Finally, with innovation, we can build a post-COVID-19 world which is plastic-free. Vietnam is in an excellent position to become an innovation powerhouse in the fight against solid and plastic waste. Distinguished guests, UNDP stands ready to support VASI and the government in sharing what we have learned in this sustainability journey. During the next ASEAN ministerial meeting, scheduled in November of this year. Moving forward, I would like to warmly invite all of you to join us virtually for the launch of our Ending Plastic Pollution Innovation Challenge on Wednesday, the 24th of June at 3 p.m. In closing, allow me to express my gratitude to the Quang Provincial People's Committee for hosting this launch and for their great support in the implementation of these two projects. Allow me also to convey my sincere thanks and deep appreciation to the Norwegian government for their support to our collective battle for a sustainable ocean. Thank you all once again for your participation. I wish you all good health, great happiness and success. Thank you. Xin cảm ơn.
Thank you. Xin cảm ơn.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Kailin Wason. Và thưa quý vị, những lời chia sẻ vừa rồi
Ladies and gentlemen, the closing remarks have ended our workshop today. On behalf of the organizing board, once again, I would like to express our sincere thanks to the distinguished guest participants, all of you, for participating in our launching event today. We hope that you have had wonderful lessons learned to be applied in your locality. And now I would like to follow the instruction to move to the provincial guest house next to here, and from 1:45, can you come back here to this room to start the program this afternoon? Once again, thank you very much, and see you again in next projects.